Welcome, my students. Today we're gonna go for the SAT تجميعات 2023, and let's start by question number 1. In the following table, which of the statement is true about the third generation of crossing a tall red flowering plant? Okay, R capital, T capital. This is the genotype with a short white flowering plant, R small, T small. What is the answer? What's the correct answer here? Please type in the meeting chat. Write your answer in the meeting chat. I'll give you a couple of seconds. If you don't reply in the meeting chat, I will go through the answers right away. This is dihybrid inheritance, and it was new, okay, when it comes, because most of the years the monohybrid inheritance was there. It is incorrect. B is incorrect. Okay. Yeah. C is correct. Sure. Let's know why. If you have a look here, or even extend our explanation, we're gonna find that R capital, okay, with versus R small, okay, T small. So it will be R capital, R small, T capital, T small, okay? And this is the genetic makeup, okay? This is supposed to be the genotype, not phenotype, genotype, okay? And it's a heterozygous, and heterozygous dominant. R capital, R small is heterozygous, okay? It could be regarding the homozygous, what does it mean? Okay, when it's R capital, or even R small, in this case will be homozygous. But this case is heterozygous. Hetero in Latin means different. Okay. Question 2. Pheromones are chemical substances that used by some animals for. What is the correct answer? Of course, for communication without being trapped by the predators. Yes. Okay, the fish from the same species, they can send the pheromones so that they can be, this is the originator, for example, so it will flow through the water, and the other gender, for example, can detect it, and it's a way of communication and can send another, okay, chemical messages. And even for the ants, they are placed in order to know where they food and telling the other, so they are moving precisely. So organisms are being communicating without being interrupted by predators via chemical messengers that only be understood by the same species. Not only for mating. Yeah, it helps, of course, with mating as well. But mating is under the communication. It's a way of communication. Communication is much more general. Is much more general. Okay. So if I choose the answer the best fit, which is the question in exam, I'm gonna go in for communication. Okay, because it has more than one thing, more than the mating. Okay, mating is included. Is it clear, my dear? 3. Which of the following suggestions you choose to control African sleep sickness disease? What is the proper answer here? How to control the tsetse fly, which is transmitting the parasite. Yeah, that's true. The tsetse fly, okay, in case of the African sleeping sickness that is being transmitting the trypanosoma, okay. Of course, if you remove or eliminate the tsetse fly, so the life cycle will be stopped. That's true. Question number 4. In the figure below, the question mark represents a common feature between both species. What it is? What is between frog and salamander? Yes, both frogs and salamander, they do contain limbs. They do have limbs. That's true. Question number 5. If the lateral line in the fish damaged, the fish will not be able to. Of course, they will not be able to move because they will not be balanced. Okay, yes, it's basically used for balance, and movement is being coordinated by the lateral line. Question number 6, part of the respiratory system that prevent food particles from entering the respiratory system. This is the epiglottis. Yes, for sure. If you have a look here, when you are swallowing food, okay, the epiglottis, okay, will close the windpipe or the trachea in order not to allow the food particles to enter to the windpipe and airways and preventing the collapse and suffocation. But okay, the food will be okay directed towards the esophagus, which found in the back side of the windpipe or trachea. That's why. The genotype of Klinefelter male is, that's very easy. Yeah, XXY. Yes, it's XXY. And here all of the cases that you have to know. Okay. XX is the normal female. Okay, and other side XY normal male. X0 is a Turner, and it came in one question, by the way. Okay, XXY Klinefelter, it came in more than one question. Okay, triple X didn't come, but it is nearly normal female with an extra female characteristics. Okay, or sexual characteristics. XXY, no, this is the X. I'm sorry, this is XXY, the Klinefelter, and here is XYY. It is a normally male. Okay, and it has a extra male sexual characteristics. Okay, let's carry on. The phenomenon of the effect of the environmental limits is caused by. Yeah, who can tell me? Carry on. What is the answer here? You are right. Okay. Okay, all of the answers was B. The phenomenon of the effect of the environmental limits is caused by environmental pollution. No. Habitat fragmentation. Why? Limiting here means you have a habitat, okay, and there's, for example, a environmental or a governmental, I'm sorry, infrastructure project, such like a road. So this road will be fragmented, the habitat into side A and side B. So it is limiting the environment, okay? It is fragmenting the habitat. It's preventing the organism to move, okay, from region A to region B. The government can overcome it by making bridge, which is known as a habitat corridors. Yep. In the following diagram, which number refers to the ovary? Ovary referred to it by which number? Yes, of course, it's B. Yeah. So this is the ovary, this is the fallopian tube, this is the number 4 is the uterus, 3 is the vagina. Yeah, it's extra details. Question number 10, the contractile vacuole found in euglenoid regulates. What is the benefit of the? Yeah, water expelling outside. Yes, of course. Okay, explanation because the euglena is found in the fresh water, and the fresh water has high water potential, and of course inside it's lower water potential. So by osmosis, water moves from a region of their high water potential, which is outside of the fresh water, into a region of the lower water potential, which is inside the euglenoid. If there is a constant supply of water, okay, the organism will be eventually, okay, burst, okay. So there should be a devices in this case, or organelles called contractile vacuole, that is maintaining the homeostasis and the osmoregulation and expelling the excess amount of water. Okay, that's it. Question number 11, a stable vital community that results when there is a little change in the number of species it's an exact definition of exactly perfect the climax community or the climax community. Yes, this is the definition of the climax community. Perfect. And this is the definition. Bread mold belongs to which phylum? Bread mold is belonging to phylum Zygomycota. Yes, it is Zygomycota. Yep. Basidiomycota is the mushroom. Ascomycota is the truffles. Chytridomycota or chytride, this is the what it calls. This is the yeast. Yep. Yeah. So here we have Zygomycota, Ascomycota, Basidiomycota. All of them are being named according to their sexual structures. And Deuteromycota or Imperfecta, it has no sexual, okay, phase. Okay, here is the bread mold, and here is the zygospore. That's why it's called, okay, Zygomycota. Here is the zygospore. Yes, here is the zygospore. And on the other hand, we have the Basidiomycota, and here is the Basidium. Okay, that's why it's referred to it as Basidiomycota. And the last one, the such like the Truffles or Ascomycota, it has a structure called ascus. Ascus is singular, plural is called asci. So that's why it's been referred to it as, okay, Ascomycota. Mycota in Latin means fungi. Question number 13, which is the following plant structures a human used it to make ropes and clothes. That's very, very easy. It is the fibers, plant fibers, and here are the plant fibers. Very easy. In female humans, the placental development completed during which week of pregnancy? You must know this. Yeah, 10th. Yeah, I know it's a little bit hard, but you have to know all of the different, okay, stages, or even that occurred in the 3 trimesters. Okay, first, second, and third. During the mid-19th century, the wild rabbits entered Australia and inhabited it. In terms of biodiversity, this type of organism is called. This is introduced species, of course, that didn't find any natural predators. That's why it has an advantage to grow up and reproduce. In an experiment on 2 plants, A and B, the plant A was covered but plant with a black bag, while plant B kept without covering. Both plants given same conditions. After a couple of days, the growth of plant A stunted, while plant B grown well. Which of the following statements representing the independent variable, the variable that we controlling? That's very important. Yeah, it is the sunlight. Perfect. We are controlling the sunlight by covering plant A with a black bag. And all of the experiments that we have are 3 independent variable or manipulated or they changed one. And the dependent variable is they observed or they measured. And all of the rest of the variables has to be maintained constant, should be kept or constant should be remained unchanged because they are known as controlled variable. That's in chemistry, physics, and bio. Any scientific controlled, okay, or a controlled scientific experiment should be contain the 3 basic variables. Question number 17, a student asked to perform a study on the organism causing polio disease. Which of the following scientific topics help him performing his study on polio disease? By other words, he's asking what polio is. Yeah, that's in return, or in other hand. In other words, he's asking what is polio disease is. Polio disease is a bacteria, virus, or what? Yeah, exactly. It's viral. It is a virus. This is the question here. Question number 18. All of the following biological factors affecting the desert regions, except all of them affecting it, but what is the only variable? The decrease in the seasonal rainfall. All of the following affecting the desert. Okay. Declining grass growth is affecting the desert. Okay. In all of the following, yeah, he say except increase, yeah, because there is no rain in the desert. Yes, increase the numbers of grazers. Yeah, I'm sorry. Looks a little bit weird even for me. I forgot it. Yes. And here are the major 6 biomes that are found in the planet Earth. Only one answer here is correct. Which of the following pedigrees is correct? All of them are incorrect except one. This is the exact picture from inside. What is the correct answer? All of them, yeah, of course. But how come? How come? How how D is correct? D is incorrect. Yeah, Muhammad Sami, your answer is correct. It's C. Or, by the way, this is A. Okay, B, C, D. This is correct. Why? Because the father is carrier. Yeah, exactly. So there's a possibility. But here, how come there is a dominant, okay, father and the son is not even a carrier? And here, how two dominant, okay, for sure, all of the offspring must be dominant. Yeah, the other doesn't make any sense. Exactly. Question number 20. Which of the following living organisms classifies as omnivore? Omnivore. Omni mean eating both. Yeah, exactly. Beer is an omnivore. And here you're gonna find everything. Herbivore, plant eaters, carnivore, meat eaters, omnivore, eating both, detritivore, organisms that eat dead plants, and they are classified into scavengers that are eating without returning back to the environment, and they decompose that feed on the dead organic matter and return some of the materials or resources back to the environment. Question number 21. When you monitoring movement of groups of ants, you notice that they move in a fixed pathway following each other. And this is by sense and order. Yes, exactly, which is the pheromone. Perfect. Yes, exactly. It's the pheromone. When introducing a living organism to an environment to eliminate another living organism, the symbiotic relationship between those two living organisms can be. That's true. It is parasitism or, yes, breed. 1 second. No, it is not symbiosis. It is parasitism or predation. Either it is a parasite that will cause disease to it, or it's a predator that will feed and consume it. So anyway, it will clear it from the plant so we can make use of it in order to eliminate. Symbiosis is a biological relationship. Yeah, that's it. This is called a biological relationship. All of the parasitism, the commensalism, the mutualism are symbiotic relationships. Yeah, biological relationships between two organisms. This is the meaning of symbiosis. Such like the ladybugs that are feeding on the aphids, so they are eliminating the aphids and, okay, make our crops healthier and safe from the effect of aphids. Yes. Here is the definition. You can even study from this leaks. It's very, very useful, inshallah. Question number 23. A female bird lays its eggs in another bird's nest and abandon the original bird's nest. I'm sorry, bird's egg. And the host bird incubates and feeds the young bird. This is an example of, yeah, of course, parasitism. Yeah. Yeah, winning on the course of harming other organism. Yes. Which of the following features applies to methanogen bacteria? Yes, of course, used in sewage treatment, yes, in order to break it down. And releases the methane gas. Yep, that's true. Question number 25. In the table below, which number represents the cause of albinism related from a recessive genetic disorder? He is telling you that albinism is a recessive genetic disorder. Exactly. The problem here is the genes secreting, okay, are not enough, okay, not enough quantities for the pigment which is known as melanin that is found in our skin. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And here you have all of the recessive autosomal genetic disorders. You have to know the cystic fibrosis came 2 times before albinism, about 2 times. galactosemia 1 times, Tay-Sachs 2 times. You have to know what they cause and effect. No, don't look at the occurrence in US. He'll not ask you about anything regarding the US. And also, Tay-Sachs, he will ask you about where the gene or the defective gene carries or being carried. It's carried on chromosome number 15, which came in one question. And the paragraph below represents the rate of spinal cord malformations in embryos. Knowing that in the last years there is more care for taking folic acid by pregnant women. From the graph, we can conclude. If you have a look to the graph, what you are finding out, what the graph telling you. Yes, graph telling you that the number of yes is being declined because exactly. This is very obvious. If you have a look here, you're gonna find the fluctuation or the gradual decrease of the number of cases. Okay. Yeah, this is a nice question. In one of the criminal cases, inspectors found parts of the criminal hairs on crime scene that helped of an adequate quantity of DNA for genetic fingerprinting to compare it against some of other criminals' holders. Yes, as per the table below, whom of the suspects committed to the crime? You said B. It's C. Why? Why? Because here is the specimen that we collected from the crime scene. This is specimen, yeah, here. Sorry. Here is the specimen. Yeah, it matched, exactly. If you have a look here, the perfect match is suspect 3. Okay. The bands are typically for suspect 3. Yes. Question number 28. Which of the body organs filter out the metabolic wastes, water, and salt from the blood? That's very, very easy. It's the kidney. Yeah, and in particular in the nephron. Yes, that's very, very good. Living organisms that feed on dead organisms and organic matters are, yeah, yes, that's true. It's called detritivore. Such like hyena, such like the vulture. In the figure below the figure below represents the blood group of a donor. Accordingly, the blood group of the recipient has to be, must be, only will be. Yes, perfect. Yes, Jana and Haifa will be only AB. Yeah, because this is A. Yeah, this person, yes, exactly, is an AB blood group, so he has 2 antibodies and, I'm sorry, 2 antigens, but no antibodies in his plasma, so it must be only given to AB. Yeah, and if he will take, should only take from also AB. Yeah, because as you know, okay, here on the surface of the AB blood group, you're gonna find the antigens A and B, and there is nothing in the plasma. Yeah. If you give it O, it has both antibodies, they will be coagulating with the antigens and the person die. Okay. Or if you give AB in particular, because we are not given the serum, we are given the, yes, red blood cells. Actually, we are looking at this something very interesting. If you look at it, you will never confused. Look at the red blood cells. Red blood. Yeah, in the donor, look for red blood cells. In recipient, look for plasma. So blood group A cannot give blood group B. Why? Blood group A has antigens that are A, and the blood group B, their plasma has antibody A. They will be, yeah, coagulating and clotting occur and the person die, and so on. That's very important notation. Keep this in consideration, and you will never mix it up, even if you forgot. Question number 31. The basic proteinous building units of cell from which the bodies of living organism originated. This is the, yeah, amino acids. Perfect. These are the building units. Yes. And of course, we have 20 different amino acids. Number of different species of living organisms and the existence percentage of each species in the vital community is called, it's a definition, you must know it, and it is correct. This is the definition of biodiversity. Question number 33. The change in population from high birth and death rate to low birth and death rate is called, this is called, yeah, demographic transition. Yes, perfect. The community that contains lion, elephants, giraffe, squirrel, and monkeys includes which type of diversity? This is called, yeah, this is called species. They are, yeah, different species. Exactly. It's diversity of species, diverse species. Yes, there are different species. Polyploid chromosomes in wheat plants leads to the polyploidy generally. The polyploidy means that there is more than one chromosomal set, not 1N, not 2N, it's more, 3N, 4N, 5N, and so on. Okay? In plants, it's, yeah, it is being promoting the plant vigorously, they increases its strength and increasing its rigidity. It is desirable, but in human, it's lethal. Question number 36. Which of the following symbiotic relationships both organisms get benefited? Yeah, this is the mutualism. Easy. Yeah, win-win is mutualism. When a neutral or causing neither benefited nor harm, this is commensalism. One benefited on the cost of harming other, it is a, yeah, parasitism. Which of the following organisms lack the nervous system? Do not have nervous system. Yes, it's the sponge. Perfect. Has only 3 types of cells, specialized cells. Don't even have tissue. Don't, yes, exactly. Question number 38. Which one of the following substances considered the main composition of hair and nails in mammals? Yeah, this is the question that came to you and was being misspelled. Yeah, it's keratin, not creatinine. Creatinine is the breakdown of the, yes, of keratin. Yes, what was the? Class misspelled incorrect with C, I think, or yes. Okay, here is the keratin. During the trial, uh, was not, I know, was not even the choices. Yeah, was really, really far answers. Yeah, too far from the correct answer. During the trial, playing barefooted on contaminated soil, he infected by a type of worm. What type of this worm is? Yep, it's hookworm. Yes, here is the hookworm and its shape when it's been penetrating the skin. Which of the following animals is an egg-laying mammal? The only egg-laying mammal is called monotremes. It came last year, monotremes, but this year he, okay, choose, or let student choose, which is the duck-billed platypus. Actually, there are only 3 species, 2 echidnas and 1, okay, duck-billed platypus, and all of them are found in the New World, such like they are in Australia only. It's the duck-billed platypus. Question number 41. Microsporidia is a protist used in the manufacture of. Yeah, pesticide, because it is obligate parasite. It cannot complete its life cycle unless gets into the body of the invertebrate, and some of them are harming our crops. Yeah. Which of the following helps in the genetic diversity in the living organism? What helps the genetic diversity here? Yeah, the meiotic, because it has crossing over through which there are actually changing segments of the DNA, which enhancing the biodiversity. Which of the following is not considered a fungus way of obtaining food? The fungus never photosynthesize. Yeah, exactly. Sorry. These are plants adapted with water scarce in their habitat by modifying the leaves to all of the following except. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yes. Shouldn't take a larger surface area, otherwise it will be exposed more to the sun and heat up and will lose a lot of water. In the figure below, which arrow represent the petals? Petals are represented by C, which is 3. You are right. Sorry, I jumped up. Sorry. 1 second. So sorry. We were in, yeah, yes, here. Here is the complete standard or complete standard flower that has sepals, which are green and protecting the flower before it blooms, petals that are colored and scented and okay, containing guidelines, and also they may contain nectaries. And then you have the male part, which is called stamen and has an anther and filament. Anther is a pollen producing organ. And we have the female organ, which is known as carpel. Carpel is made up of stigma, which is the pollen receiving organ. And then we have the style transporting the pollen from stigma to the ovary. Inside the ovule, there is ovule. Inside the ovule, there is the female egg cell. Which of the following animals has a stable body temperature? One of those has a stable body temperature, which is, you are right. You are right. Exactly. It's the eagle, because eagle is bird and birds are endotherm, so they have warm-blooded. All of the rest, frog and turtle are frog is amphibian, snake is reptile, turtle is reptile. They are both cold-blooded or ectotherm. If the sequence of the nitrogenous bases in one of the DNA, stress on DNA strands, is 3N3 AGATTCGA 5 free end, then the sequence of the complementary strand is, yes, that's very easy. It's A, because it said DNA, not RNA. Never mix it up. Never mix it up. Okay. Here is A, so the complementary with T, G with C, A with T, double T, double A, CG, GC, A with T. So the correct answer here is A. I hope you understand why. Let's carry on. Yeast produced by, again, sorry. Yeast are produced by budding. Yes, as you can see. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, bud is an extension from the mother, then it will be grow up, and it has two options: can be separated and grow independently or individually, or remain and make what is known as colony. Yes. If you will donate blood to your friends whose blood group is O, your blood must be, yeah, must be O, because blood group O The plasma of the patient has both antibodies A and B. Yes, so you have to give him something that lack of any antigens, and the only blood group that lack of any antigen is blood group O. Yes, blood group O, the RBC that you were donating, has no antigens. Which system transmits the message that you have a pimple in your shoe? It came in the exam, this. What is this system? This system is known as, what do you think? A pimple. Pimple means away from the body, away from the center. It's the peripheral. It is the peripheral. Why? Because as you know, the nervous system is made up of central and peripheral. Central is made up of, okay, brain and spinal cord. The peripheral is made up of nerves that are extended from the brain, that is called cranial nerves, and the nerve that are extending out from the spinal cord, which is known as spinal nerve. The spinal or the peripheral nervous system is functionally divided into somatic. Somatic, soma means body. It's controlled by the body. That's why it's voluntary. And autonomic. Autonomic means self or automated. So it is involuntary. Okay. The autonomic is even divided into sympathetic and parasympathetic. Sympathetic is increasing the body and the alertness, and during the action, the stress, the fight, the empathy, while the parasympathetic is calming down the body after the action of the sympathetic in order to maintain the homeostasis and in order to return back the body to normal. So it is mostly after while you are calming, while you are relaxing, sleeping. Okay. What is the figure below? Is a food chain, interconnected food chains. That's it. Okay. Differentiation between animal plant and I'm sorry, can be done during mitotic division. Differentiation between animal and plant cell can be done in, yes, I went back. Yes, Muhammad, type of question. Is it okay, my dear? Okay. Muhammad has to ask a question, you can type it. Okay, it's fine. Rimas had a question, you can type it. Okay. Differentiation between animal and plant cell can be occurred during, okay, what phase in the mitotic division? Which phase? Yeah, exactly. Exactly, because they are being, yes, connected to the centrioles. Perfect. Question number 53. When you chew a piece of bread, the enzyme affecting on it is, what is the enzyme that work inside the mouth? This enzyme is called salivary amylase. It's amylase because it's written here, but in particular, it's salivary amylase. Explanation of a natural phenomenon based on observations and inquiries a long time. This statement depicts. This is depicting. Yep. This is the theory. This is the theory. Yeah. Because it's based on observation. Yep. Okay. Which of the following hormones responsible for the tropism of the plant in the picture below? What is responsible for tropism? It's here is a tropism, not dramatic elongation of the or of the plant. This is just auxins. Auxins are responsible for the process of tropism. It's being controlled by auxins. Tropism means the slow growth movement of plant towards a stimuli. This stimuli may be light, and in this case will be phototropism, maybe gravity, and in this case will be known as gravitropism or geotropism, or it may be to the touch, and in this case will be known as sigmotropism. Yes. Is that clear, my dear Mas? Here, everything you need from scratch. Kind of study about all of the hormones here. When cross green be a plant, Y small, with yellow be plant, yellow capital or Y capital, the first generation will be. That's very easy. Yeah, all of it will be Y capital, Y small. Yes. This monohybrid inheritance. The reaction of living organism is, what the meaning of reaction? The reaction is a response. Yes. Which of the following controlled by sympathetic action? What is controlling? Yes. Dilating the eye pupil is a sympathetic. Yes, exactly. All of the rest are parasympathetic. Sorry, I keep pressing on it. Mistaken. The type of the cavity in the following figures is, what is this cavity? Acoelomate, pseudocoelomate, eocoelomate. This is how can you say? It is not eocoelom, of course. It is pseudocoelom. It is not acoelom because there is coelom. Here is the coelom, by the way. Here is the cavity that is known as coelom. But it is only surrounded by, so why it's not EU? Why it's not acoelomate? Because there is something here, a cavity. Why it's not EU? Because it only covered from outside by the mesoderm. It should be covered from outside and inside by mesoderm. Here is mesoderm and here is mesoderm. And in this case, it will be known as eocoelomate. Yeah. They, where are we? Acoelomata such like flatworms, pseudocoelomata such like they, roundworms, okay? The eocoelomate, all of the rest. Yeah. Here is, where are we? Acoelomate, flatworms, okay? The pseudocoelomate, such like the nematoda, and all of the rest are eocoelomate. They have true coelom. I'm sorry. What is the type of muscle that line the stomach in humans? The stomach is lined by, yeah, smooth and involuntary. You cannot control it. This is the shape of it, and the muscles that we have are being categorized into three basic categories. The number one is called skeletal, that is being connected and attached to bones, that is moving the body. We have the ability to totally control, okay, its movement. But we have also a second one, which is called cardiac. Cardiac is a specific type for only one organ in the body, which is the heart, and you cannot control it. And then you have the smooth muscle that is lining the alimentary canal, esophagus, stomach, intestine, small and large, okay, rectum, and even lining the urinary bladder and the blood vessels. It's found in many other parts, but it's also involuntary. You cannot control your, for example, your arteries, for example. Yeah, sorry, I jump up. The movement structures, the movement structure used by a living organism in the figure, it's used for, or he is asking, yeah, asking for the structure. So what is the structure by which the amoeba moves? Yes, pseudobod. Yes, it's called pseudobod. Pseudo means false, bod means leg or feet. And here is the figure that came in exam, and here is the diagram. And he will ask you, and he did ask you here in everything. He said, for example, what is amoeba? Amoeba is done here. And the name of the phylum is called Sarcodina. It came in one exam. And the paramecium, he came saying how they are moving by cilia, as you know, and also characterized by the presence of two nuclei. One is called macro and another is called micronuclei. Has two nuclei, which is very interesting thing. The trypanosome can ask a lot of things. Okay. The name of the parasite, trypanosome. The name of the vector is tsetse fly. The name of the disease, it differs, by the way. Okay. If it's being carried by the bed bug, it will be American sleep sickness, and it's different species of the trypanosome. And it's called Trypanosome cruzi. And there's another type that is being transmitted via tsetse fly and causing the African sleeping sickness. And the way by which, or the locomotion or movement of trypanosoma is the flagella. Okay. And last thing he asked for is the plasmodium, which causes malaria, so it's called Plasmodium malariae. Okay. It doesn't have any movement structure. It is moving by gliding or sliding. Okay. It is it is do not have a structure for movement. Question number 62, organism of three-chambered heart. Yes, we just mentioned this. Yeah, exactly. Amphibians. Fish has two, bird has four, even birds and animals. Okay. What is this part of the body? What is this part representing? Yeah. No, it is not ribs at all. It's not presenting to the ribs. It is presenting to the sternum. Yes, exactly. Question number 64, cells that converted from non-specialized to specialized are, yes, stem cells. They have a high rate of division. They can give rise into any other cell. Yes, that's very, very powerful. Okay. Medusa from, supposed to be Medusa form, is common in which group? Medusa is most common in what? Um, in Nigerians, yeah, sure. Okay. Here are the two forms. Okay. Borib and Bidullah. Next question. Question number 66. The relationship between bees and flowers is considered. Bees and flowers. Yeah, mutualism. Perfect. Benefit exchange. Yeah, win-win. Where is the urea formed? Yeah, that's tricky question. Watch out. It formed in the liver and filtered by the kidney. That's very good. That's very good. Okay. A scientist discovered a new organism and concluded it was prokaryote based on what? Yes, a prokaryote based on, yes, absence of yes, membrane bounded or membrane enclosed or membrane, okay, covered organelles. That's true. Ribosome is non-membrane bounded. Okay. And here are the differences. Which of the following is the correct bonding between nitrogenous bases? According to the Evans-Chargaff's pairing rule, all of them are incorrect except one. Yes, exactly, Jana. You are right. Only available answer and correct answer is that. Yes. Adenine, adenine with thymine, guanine with cytosine. Yes, true. That's true. Yes, that's in DNA. Sorry. That's in DNA. And in RNA, adenine will be paired with uracil and still guanine with cytosine by triple hydrogen bond, and this only in RNA. Which of the following causes a decrease in ozone layer of the atmosphere? Which one of those? Chlorofluorocarbon or CFCs? True. All the following processes describing the mechanical digestion in human, except all of them mechanical except one. It's, yeah, exactly. See, mix it with Yeah, mix the food with enzyme. I'm sorry, I didn't read C. Yeah, mixing food with saliva. Yeah, saliva containing enzyme. C saying contractions. Yeah, the meeting chat is hiding what is written. Okay. In the figure below, the question mark represents a common feature between both species. What is this? Toad and salamander. Yes, both of them. Yeah, toad and shark. I'm sorry, I said salamander. How come? Yes, both of them do containing gills. Yeah, and tadpole is a phase by which the eggs of the frogs are been hatching and it is living in water in its aquatic form. In the figure below, which part the process of water and useful substances reabsorption takes place? That came like this last year. Yeah. What is this? C, which is 3, which is correct. Yes. And that's what is known as the loop. This is called proximal convoluted tubule. We have here Bowman's capsule. Here is a part of the renal artery. Then it's called arterioles. Then it makes a glomerulus inside a Bowman's capsule or renal capsule. Everything is being filtered out by the first process, which is called ultrafiltration. And right after, there's a second process called selective reabsorption, by which the useful substances will be absorbed in the proximal convoluted tubule, in loop of Henle, and in distal convoluted tubule. And during the collecting duct, the waste materials will be collected and will be, yes, passed from the collecting duct to the pelvis, from the pelvis to the ureter, from the ureter to the bladder to be stored, then from the bladder to outside of the body. Question number 74. One of the blood components that indicates a bacterial infection. What indicating that the person has bacterial infection? Yeah, it's C, the white blood cells. When they are more, it means that the body is defending against diseases. Yes. Which of the following organelles increase in the brain cells? What increase in the, yes, it's the, actually it's mitochondria, because a lot of energy is needed for generating the nerve impulses. A lot of energy needed. And all of this is being released by the mitochondria, which are the powerhouses. The maximum number of individuals of a particular species that the environment can support. It's the literal definition of, yes, carrying capacity. That's true. This is the exact definition of carrying capacity. Yeah. And if there is a carrying capacity, then the graph will be known as logistic. When it grow up exponentially to reaching the carrying capacity, then it will be, yeah, level of start or remain stationary. Yeah, here it exponentially because the resources are unlimited. What is the number of bacteria resulted from mitotic divisions after 1 hour in the normal conditions? The normal condition here, and in some cases it came in exam, by the way, is 20 minutes. Yeah, if you started by 1, after, okay, 60 minutes, okay, what you will have? You will have, yes, what is the answer? Yeah, 8. Why? Because in the first 20 minutes, they will be 2, then they will enter the second 20 minutes, they will be 4, then there is minutes. After 20 minutes, the 4 will be doubled, so it will be 8. Okay, so it's 2 to the power of how many intervals? 3, which equals 8. This is how to calculate it. The intervals, okay, or in the optimal conditions of the bacteria is 20 minutes. In one other question, it came 20 minutes. The bony fish have advantage over the cartilaginous fish that the bony fish have. This came this year. The bony fish has what? Yeah, they do contain swim bladder. Why the cartilaginous do not have? The bony fish has bone. The cartilaginous do not have. The bony fish has gill cover. The cartilaginous fish do not have. The bony fish has lateral lines, the others do not have, and so on. Has so many. Yeah, greasy grouper is an example of the of bony fish. I'm sorry. Shark is cartilaginous. Skates and shrimps are cartilaginous. The most endangered animal that lives in, what is the most endangered animal? Is the animal that lives in an island. Yeah, that's correct. Because it is isolated. Bird that feed on nectar has a beak that. This came as well. Those, yes, long and thin, such like hummingbird. Yeah. And this question came before, that feed on meat, okay, should be curved and, yeah, strong and curved. Yes. The duck is very easy, and the legs of the duck came in one question called whipped food. The cardinal is really, really strong. It's to crack the fruits and take the seeds. Colorblind person couldn't differentiate between which colors? What are the colors that the colorblind cannot, okay, differentiate between? They are, yeah, red and green. That's perfect. Red and green. True. Behavior in which an animal benefits another at a cost of itself. It's sacrificing. This is known as which behavior? Ecology is important. Focus on ecology. Many questions came from it. It is altruistic, such like what happened in the beehive. It's called altruistic behavior. Yes. In human, the sex influence trait is sex influenced. One of those is sex influenced. Yeah. Sex influenced is the boldness. Hemophilia is and color is, both of them are sex linked, not sex influenced. The influence by the male and the female sexual hormones. Okay. Which making a karyotype for a baby, while making, I'm sorry, it was found that they had 3 copies of the chromosome containing number 21. This body is diagnosed with, yeah, Down syndrome is a non-disjunction or a extra chromosome number 21. 3 copies are there. Yes, if you have a look here. The chromosome has 3 copies. Came from a problem happened in the female egg cells while distribution of the gamete, the chromosomes. Which of the following organisms detect the odor by Jacobson's organ? Oh, sorry. This is the Jacobson's organ. Yeah. It's important, and in other question, it came a picture and you have to detect it. But this question has no picture. Which is the type of animal dispassion in the following figure? It looks like there's a ruler, okay, made this line. This is called, yeah, uniform. It is called uniform dispassion. That's true. Perfect. Such like birds, for example. And here is everything. The clumped, they are grouped together or clustered, okay, giving them further protection, okay, looking better for food and, okay, defending against any predator. Uniform or territorial, they have a territory, okay, so that it is not coming into another territory of any other organism and not even allowing any other organism come closer from its territory. Random, most of them, they do not have predators, so they are, okay, do not have a pattern of distribution or dispersion. Question number 88. The immovable joint in the human found in. Immovable joints. Yeah, of course, skull. Yeah, sutures. Here is the sutures. Okay, this is called immovable. And then we have Slightly movable, it's not written here. Slightly movable, such like the back and the rib cage. They are slightly moving, not completely not moving, and also not freely moving. Then we have freely moving. The freely moving are ball and socket, two in our bodies, shoulder girdle and the pelvic girdle. The pivots, many in our body, but the most one is the elbow. Okay. I'm sorry, the pivots such like the head and the cervical C7. Okay. This is the load, this is an effort, and this is a lever from the first type, or it's called a pivot. Okay. Then we have the hinge, such like came in exam about 2 times, such like elbow in the arm. It has been extending, okay, and it has a maximum range of movement that cannot, okay, exceed it. Then we have even two. One is called sliding. One is called, I'm sorry, one is called saddling. One is called gliding. The gliding is for those small bones. They are eight, four in each row. Okay, they are yeah, the carpal bones. You took them in the skeletal system. Okay, and the phalanges here, when they are moving, their movement is called saddling movement, and all of this is a explanation of all the different, okay, joints that came in all of the exams, and even those that didn't come. Red and white blood cells and platelets are formed in. Where are the blood cells made? They are made in the red bone marrow. Yes, yellow bone marrow for storing the fat and calcium. Which of the following accepts the returning blood from the body? Accept the blood when it's back to the body. Yeah, it's called, yeah, exactly. The right atrium receiving the blood, yeah, from the upper body parts via superior vena cava, and the deoxygenated blood come from the lower body parts via inferior vena cava, then to the right atrium, down to the right ventricle, pump and squeeze the blood up to the two lungs. Okay, the pulmonary will be divided into the right lung and to the left lung, and after the oxygenation, the oxygenated blood will be returned back to the left atrium via the four pulmonary veins. The huge amounts of oil results from sinking of oil tanks can be treated and get rid of it using bacteria. This process is called, yeah, this is bioremediation. Yes, in order to increase the fertility and diversity and productivity of a contaminated or polluted area. Question number 92. Female bees produce eggs that developed into males and female without fertilize. Okay, this process is called, yes, it's called parthenogenesis. None of those answers is correct. It's called parthenogenesis. Yeah, it is the parthenogenesis. It's a process by which the eggs will be hatched into, okay, fertilized, or I'm sorry, will be grow up into an individual without being fertilized. After the production of the production of the sperm in testicles, they will be stored in. And another question, they will be mature in. Another question will be stored and mature in epididymis. Perfect, and no other place. Yeah, produced here in the seminiferous tubules. Then they are moving to the epididymis to be, okay, a store and for the maturation. In the following figure, sperm, okay, a sperm, the arrow points to, arrow is pointing here to middle piece. Yeah, that's true. When you eat proteins, which of the following enzymes work on it first? Yeah, it's pepsin. Where? In the stomach. Yes. Then, here's the whole story. Question number 96. The following figure represents the gastrula in the embryonic development. Which of the following structures the arrow points to? Carefully have a look at the arrow. There is no mesoderm yet here, just 2 layers. Yeah, it is endoderm. That's true. It is endoderm. Yes. And here is the definition of germ layer. The following figure represents the blood pressure for a person. Which of the following hormones resulted to sudden increase, okay, pointed by the arrow? So the sharp increase is due to the secretion of adrenaline hormone that is, yes, increasing the blood pressure. Yes. And also the heartbeats and the breathing rates. Question number 98. The nitrogenous base that only found in RNA and not found in DNA is uracil. Perfect, Jana. Let's carry on. The type of camel dispassion here is moving like, yeah, it is a clump dispassion. Very, very clear. Thank you. Here's the acceleration. Sorry. A researcher studied classification of different forests according to the level of pollution in the desert. Which of the following organisms he depend on his research? Okay, okay. Level of pollution, and in particular the air pollution. Yeah, lichens. Lichen is a mutualistic relationship between an algae and fungi. Fungi is photosynthetic that makes food and be given to the fungi. The fungi fix nitrogen and in return give it to the algae. It's very easy. Question number 101. What is the function of fins in fish? What the fins is? Yeah, exactly. Controlling the depth of the submarine. Paddling, man. Yeah. The depth is the swimming bladder. Is the swimming bladder. It is paddling. Yes. Okay. Which of the following insects transmit African sleeping sickness disease? Insects. Yeah, tsetse fly. Perfect. Here is a tsetse fly. Question number 103. A flower containing 3 stamens. Which of the following flower belongs to? 3. It do contain 3. It's not dicot at all. It's a monocot. Because 3 or multiples of 3 is the monocot. 4 or multiples of 4, 5 or multiples of 5 is, exactly, is dicots. And here is differences. The death of the last member of living organism. Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. It jumped up again. We can divide the questions, okay, between today's session and tomorrow. And still also some questions are added. I will post a form, a Google form, in order to take your Gmails. Okay, afterwards, I will add all of your emails to it. Okay, all of those. Sorry, what is this press? Yeah. The death of the last member, this came this year, of the living organisms. Death of last member of the living organism. Yeah, this extinction. That's perfect. That's perfect. One of the characteristics of the biological populations that represents the measurements of the number of individuals per unit area, dividing it over, this is the population density. And here you can calculate the number of individuals by a square unit area. Yes. What are the basic building units of DNA and RNA? They are made up of basic units. The basic units are nucleotides. Yes, perfect. And they are either, okay, pyrimidines or purine. And it came in one example, by the way. Yeah, he said that. Give me an example of which of the following, okay, nucleotide is among these purines. Yeah, it's adenine and guanine. In order to keep them and not forget them, know that purines are AG and the rest are pyrimidines. So you will not memorize all of them, just two, and the rest will be automatically known. If you know that purines are AG, so the rest are pyrimidines. That's it. A relationship that occurs when more than one organism use a resource at the same time. This came this year as well. This called, yeah, this is known as, yeah, competition, because the resources are limited. Yes. The technology of addition of DNA segment to another DNA segment. This is called, yeah, genetic engineering. Yes, you know. You can cut open the plasmid and paste the human insulin gene, for example. This is called genetic engineering in order to form a recombinant DNA. And when you give it back to the organism will be known as transgenic. Transgenic. Yes. What is the relationship between sea anemones and clownfish? Sea anemone and clownfish. It is, yeah, mutualistic relationship. What is the blood group that has no antigens? We mentioned this before. A blood group that lack of, yes, oh, exactly, has no antigens on the surface of the RBCs. If the father's blood type is A and the mother's blood is AB, which of the following groups cannot be one of their, yes, no way to be O, yeah, because he said the father is A and the mother is A, B. So AB is only IA capital, IB capital. This is a genotype. B, A could be IA capital, IE capital, or IE capital, I, okay, 0 or I small. Can say 0 or O. So if it's IE capital with here, IE capital will be blood group A. Let's make it like this to make it easy. If it's IA capital with IB, will be AB. If it's IA capital with I, will be A blood group. If it's I null with B, will be IB capital, I null, which is B. So there is no O at all. And here is the explanation. Yeah, here is the genetic makeup I just used. We have three alleles, IA capital, IB capital, I null. Which of the following is a polysaccharide? A polysaccharide is, yes, cellulose or starch is a polysaccharide. Okay, carry on. Yes. The parasite that causes African sleeping sickness. The parasite that causes African sleeping, yeah, it is yes. The parasite is trypanosome, many tricking. The parasite is trypanosome. The organism that transmits the disease or the parasite itself, that transmits the parasite from an infected person to a healthy person is the tsetse fly. Yeah, so never mix it up. Many confusing here. This is the parasite. Where it lives or how it can be transmitted, okay, from an infected to a healthy person via tsetse fly. What of the following abiotic factors affecting the grassland? What is the answer here? What would be yes, it's yeah, exactly. The amount of the seasonal rain affecting yeah, of course, the grassland severely. Okay. Crow break eggs for feeding. This behavior. So he knows. He used problem solving, and cognition. Yeah, it's cognitive. Yes, exactly. Thinking and reasoning and problem solving. What helps frog breathe in the mud? It's hibernating. So what helps it to breathe under the mud? Yeah, it is the cutaneous respiration or the skin respiration. No, not book lung. Book lung are in what are you called? The insects and spiders. It's not here. Yes. If a baboon monkey eat both fruit and meat, it's considered eating both, omnivore. Yeah. And here everything as we mentioned. When cutting sea stars into pieces, it will, if you tear it into pieces, it will regenerate. Yes, as you can see. What is the function of valves? What is the main function of the valve? Exactly, directing the blood in one direction and preventing the backflow. Yeah, here is the valve. Which of the following not considered living thing that has the characteristic of living thing? Yeah, the virus. Yes, of course. Photosynthesis converts which type of energy? Yeah, light to chemical. What is the structure that is not found in animal cell, found only in plants? It's the chloroplast. Yes, exactly. And here differences. Which of the following living organisms in the ecosystem play a very important role because it makes energy and nutrients available for all other organisms? It's the detritivore. I'm sorry, what is that? Makes energy. Makes energy. Yeah, detritivore is not making energy. You deceived me as well. Yeah, just feed on the dead organic matter. It's the autotroph. To prove that our hypothesis is correct, you must do what? You must test it. Yes. And this all of the processes. Okay, a region that a autotrophs cannot live in is one of the zones at which there is no autotroph can live. No, photic means there is light. It can live there. Aphotic means there is no light. So they cannot make their own food by themselves, so they will die or they move to another place. So they cannot live in the photic. Photic means light. So the autotroph must contain, light. So they will not be in the aphotic zone. By the way, the question is a little bit vague. It must written photoautotrophic because chemoautotroph can live in the aphotic. To be very obvious and clear and scientific. Okay, we have chemosynthesis and we have photosynthesis. So chemosynthesis it is still autotroph, by the way. So it can make it to food. Yes, it can make it to food. Where? In the aphotic. But they are referring to the photoautotroph by autotroph, which is vague. So keep this in mind. Which of the following is an example of a flatworm? One here is an example of flatworm. The flatworm here is the planarian. And here is the shape of it. No, filaria is not. Filaria is nematoda. Scar is bindworm, filaria, all of them are nematoda, cylindrical worms. Which of the following organisms is asymmetrical? A means not, so it has no way for symmetry. Sorry, I know worms are disgusting. It's B, sponge. No, sponge. A, it has a radial symmetry. This is the jellyfish, it has. Yeah. When examining the blood of a person, it was noticed that there is a rise in blood calcium level. This rise will be stored in which tissue? Yeah, of course, in the bone. Osteoblast will do the job. Yeah. Okay, the one before the last, when examining sewage water, which type of protist will be there? A protist will be there. He said protist. Okay. So it's the methanogens. Okay. By the way, this is okay. The methanogens are not protists. The methanogens are archaea. Yeah. Yes. But the question stem itself is incorrect. Okay, last question for today is diversity diversity of the shapes of ladybug in this figure representing what? This color because of what? Ecology or genetic? Yeah, it is genetic. Of course. Of course, it's genetic. So it is genetic diversity. Perfect. Okay, and here is the definition that you need to know. So we stopped at question number 131. We'll start them tomorrow, inshallah. Okay. So